This is the plaintiff, LaChaka Henderson. She says she rented an apartment in the defendant's old ratty house, which leaked, and she moved out after a couple of years of torture. The defendant refuses to give her back her security deposit, claiming the rug was moldy, but it was moldy because of all the leaks that were never repaired. She's suing for $1,300, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Deborah Ferry. She says the plaintiff's upstairs neighbor's kid liked to throw toys in the toilet, and there was a one-time leak which was fully repaired. This woman caused damage to other tenants' cars. She stole another tenant's check, and she owes this woman nothing. She's accused of treating a tenant terribly.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant, says the guy is a slumlord and won't return her security. But the defendant says the plaintiff was a tenant from you-know-where, and she damaged other tenants' cars and stole a neighbor's check. It's the case of Slumdog, no millionaire.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. Henderson, you're suing your former landlord, Ms. Perry, because she refuses to refund your security deposit. And Ms. Perry, why is it that you're not refunding her security deposit?
The apartment was left in horrific conditions. The walls were filthy, carpets were all stained, the kitchen floor was filthy and stained from urine from her dog and all warped. Holes in walls, holes in doors.
Ms. Henderson, how long did you live there?
3 years.
All right, and what condition do you say you left the place in?
Well, first of all, only thing that I didn't do was clean out the refrigerator because she locked the doors on me.
What do you mean she locked the doors on you?
She changed the locks.
Right, but you were supposed to be out when?
Well, I don't know. I was supposed to move out on the 1st.
All right,
She changed
so
the
on
locks on the 4th.
Right, that's 3 days after the 1st. So by then, why hadn't you done whatever you were gonna do before you moved out?
I didn't have the time. I had 1 day to move.
Okay, well, not really, because she had given you notice that she wanted you to move how many months in advance?
She told me she wanted me to move in, I think, March or April.
Right, and you moved out in November.
Yes.
Okay, so now let me see some pictures, Ms. Perry. What is this a picture of?
That is a hole in the living room wall where the front door would open. Looks like the doorknob went through it.
Okay. What is this a picture of?
That is the bathroom wall. I can't tell you what happened, but it looks like there's a whole section peeled off.
Right, but that's not something the tenant does.
It wasn't like that when she moved in.
Do you have pictures of what it looked like when she moved in?
I unfortunately, I don't.
Because I'm looking at a door jamb that looks really, really old and painted over and over. And so if you're going to tell me it looked pristine when you gave it to her, I'd like to see evidence of that. Every time that you switch tenants, you need to have evidence of how you are giving the apartment to the new person so that you can prove the difference, you see. What is this a picture of?
Carpet in one of the bedrooms.
What are those stains, Ms. Henderson?
That is water damage.
Okay.
The house leaked since I got there. She always says she's going to come fix things, and she never come. Her husband going to come. They never come. I got texts where she's always saying that she's going to come, she's going to do this, she's going to do this, and she never does it.
What is this a picture of? This is the doorknob?
Broken doorknob, same room that she claims she never used.
Mm-hmm.
What would this be?
That's up. I don't know how this happened because that is up.
Well, it's water damage.
It leaked into one room, into the kitchen.
Right.
And
So
it wasn't a water leak. It was from the upstairs tenant's child clogging the toilet bowl with a toy.
Okay. So how many times did that happen?
I would say 2 or 3 times in the 3 years that she lived there.
What is this?
Water.
That is her son's bedroom.
So what am I looking at on these walls?
Filth.
Yeah, okay.
That is not water damage. The leak didn't even go into that room. And this again is her son's room, the other wall.
What am I looking at here?
That's a hole in the wall.
That's literally a hole in the wall. How did that hole happen, Ms. Henderson?
That hole happened when the electricity had went out from the water leaking in my son's room. So what we try to do, we were gonna seal it back up,
But you didn't. And then why
no,
does
we
the
didn't.
wall look like this?
That is water. That is all from water. I got pictures. I sent water. I sent pictures.
I'm going to look at your pictures in a second, but what I'm looking at
Okay.
here isn't water. It's just grime.
It is. I'm telling you.
Listen, I know water and I know grime. I know both.
Okay, that is all water. Okay, you don't have to believe me. I'm not making this up.
Why did you leave all this stuff inside the fridge?
I was gonna clean it out. I take full responsibility for that because I was trashing everything in that refrigerator. Anything that I did, I will admit. Anybody that knows me, I'm not.
Let's look at the video of the ceiling leak.
Water coming down. All of that. Water coming in, I'm thinking, from outside.
That's pretty significant, Miss Perry. We're looking at like the ceiling kind of caving in. I'm to believe that's just a few flushes. I mean, that has to be something a little bit more serious than that.
The toilet it overflowed, and I admit that it overflowed, and it did do it more than once. It wasn't constant. It was once we got the toilet cleaned up and stuff, it was done.
Well, it was. I don't understand how it happens 3 times. If you know the source, why don't you evict the tenant who doesn't watch their child?
Locks on their bathroom door up high so the baby couldn't get in anymore without them there, and then it stopped. It since that time.
Yeah, but how does it happen 3 times? Like 3 floods?
I wouldn't say it was a flood.
Well, enough to damage the ceiling, like she just showed me the video of a pretty damaged ceiling. I mean, you have some significant work to do there anyway. Show me why you should be entitled to an entire $1,300 deposit.
Welcome back to the People's Court. The plaintiff wants her security back, but the defendant says, those rugs were moldy. Let's go back into the courtroom.
There's some significant water damage and painting required. How would I see grime? I definitely see grime, but there's some significant water damage that was going to require painting anyway.
For the ceiling, which I am not charging her for that.
Okay, the carpets need to be removed and replaced due to excessive staining. I saw pictures of the rug and the staining. She's saying that it's because of the water damages. How are you going to prove to me that it's urine?
I mean, I walked in the apartment one day. There was urine all over the floor. And I said to her, I said, Shaka, there's,
Debbie, you're fabricating things. Debbie, look at me. Like, I would never.
Where's the kitchen floor that you're talking about that I'm going to see that's urine stained?
Right there. Well, there's all the black.
There's right, but see, you're telling me it's urine, and I know that there's water damage from leaks that were repetitive, not once. And when you understand that when water leaks from above, it doesn't necessarily fall straight down. It might run through a current and then hit somewhere else. I mean, it's kind of.
Yes, and I wish I took pictures of the ceilings, because where the damage to the ceilings is not over this floor. It's over the other section, the vinyl floor, and I failed to take the pictures of it.
Okay, I'm going to order you to return half of the security deposit based on what I'm looking at. I would really, in the future, it really behooves you to take pictures of how you hand a place over as well.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm definitely seeing damage that has grime and filth and cleaning that has absolutely nothing to do with water damage. I'm going to split the baby. $650, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is a case that's so important for both landlords and tenants to take photos, both when the tenant moves in and when the tenant moves out. That way you compare the two to know exactly whether something was damaged or not.
Have you ever played pinball with Douglas?
Never. You can't prove that I played pinball.
Oh, I'm finding that very hard to believe.
Yes, I have played pinball with Douglas. But, there are a lot of vices people can have, right? I mean, there are like 7 deadly sins. There's, sloth, envy, gluttony, 3 or 4 others, right? Lust. But pinball is not among them. Pinball is good, clean fun. right? You can't get in trouble. You're usually there by yourself, or maybe somebody else is on the game next to you.
When are you and Douglas playing pinball? What am I doing while you guys are playing
You're
pinball?
back in your chambers preparing for the next case.
Oh, okay. And then the two of you are just goofing
Once
off
in a
out
while.
there.
Look, for 20 years, I had you and Douglas would go to dinner, go to the boat ride and the big wrap party, casino night, and all this stuff, and I would just get pictures, right? Now, finally, I'm a part of it. I get to get out there and jump in a little bit. You like pinball, confess.
No, I like Douglas.
Okay, well, so do I.